So soap nails, they're trending, right? Well, actually, they've been around for a very long time. They've been probably around since like the 60s, way before my time. Have you ever heard of soap nails, Steve?
I've come across it here and there.
You have, yeah, because it's really trending right now. So what are they? Well, let's do one. Okay, I've got these beautiful nails by Steve. Yes, they're a little bit rough looking. You've been playing with your nails, haven't you?
Yeah, I have.
That's good, but you're learning, right?
I am.
And this is what happens when we're learning.
You could say that.
Don't be hard on yourself, Steve, because this is exactly what nails look like when we're doing them over and over and over and when we're working on ourselves, right?
Yeah, I won't be hard on myself, just my nails.
Yeah, that's right. So keep the learning curve going, right? Like if you be hard on yourself, you kind of stop the learning process, but keep it going because you're definitely on the right track. I mean, you still got some natural nail here, which is good, and they feel relatively strongish. So you're not filing down too thin. They look really good. So we're going to put some soap nails on these today. Now, it's not really up your alley as far as the fun, colorful, like you like to really do the nail art and stuff. Soap nails are a classic, more traditional nail, which I think is funny. Why do they call them soap nails? I guess they're just rebranding it to get everybody's attention on the design again, which is really just very natural looking nails. And it comes from soap because it's like a clean look, meaning short, sweet. And some of them are longer too. It's really the colors that you're putting on them.
Okay.
So I'm going to apply them with acrylic today. I think you could use some strong nails to protect these natural nails here. Mm-hmm. So let me show you what a soap nail looks like, and we'll just start filing right away. Okay, so I'm going to be delicate with these nails that have had a lot of work on them. Okay, so when I'm doing nails, I just gently push back the cuticle. Just ever so gently, and then I start filing up with my medium file. I can use my e-file, but I'm using everything that was in my acrylic kit, the fast setting monomer, so you can see how to use those products that are in that kit. Have you ever worn a set like what I'm going to do today, or most of your sets are pretty colorful and expressive with the nail art?
I prefer more like dark nails as opposed to light.
That's fair. Like this?
Yeah.
What about my thumb? You like that?
Those are really pretty.
Isn't that gorgeous? I actually really want to do that set on you today. And you like the dark, so see the darker
Yeah,
colors?
I love that.
Isn't that cool? Okay, so
no, I don't wear light colored nails very often.
No, you really don't, do you? So these, I'm just gently buffing up this natural nail, making sure I'm not over buffing because it's had a bit of work done on it. And making sure that I tighten up that cuticle nicely. I just want a nice clean edge there. Because one thing about the soap nail, it's all about trying to make it look as natural as possible, but we still are wearing enhancements. And you can get it also without, just put a pink nail polish on basically if you had short nails. That would give you that look as well.
So soap nails, it's just pink?
Nudes, pinks. Okay. It can be like a light blue. Just something really simple, clean, elegant, classic. And it doesn't have to be short either.
Okay.
The idea is it just looks more natural. I've seen them with ombre, like a slight ombre with white, not colors so much, but just like a soft white on the end, natural. Okay. Now I'm going to take my little duster. So I can see, when you take the dust away, you can see those little shiny spots. Mm-hmm. I'm actually going to just buff that up because that means it's really not buffed. Just going to make sure that that's buffed too. And then you can check your work. Remove that dust once again, and I can see just a couple. That means it's probably dipping down a little bit, and the file is just kind of glazing right over it. So you just want to dig down a little bit, or you could just get a little cheat, and you get a softer file, like a sanding sponge, and then it might kind of dig into those little spots a little easier, because it's a little bit more flexible. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, that did a really good job. Okay. Okay. And then I am going, just hold your little finger like that. And I'm going to use Let's Prep. This is a dehydrator. It's going to clean the nail and dehydrate it a little bit to make it nice and non-oily for that acrylic application. Then I'm going to use Let's Bond. And I specifically put this on the bottle, like after Let's Prep, because it's really easy to get those two liquids mixed up. Have you ever done that?
I mix things up all the time,
right.
So.
And they're both clear liquids. So often I found students would say, which one of those do you put on first? So you make them look the same. I mean, they're hugely different, because if you put your dehydrator on after you put your bonder on, then you've just eliminated the use of
It's like
the
you've
bond.
done nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've just gone backwards. So we want to put our bond on last. And that's a little bit more sparingly. Okay. Now I'm just going to get my little dapping dish here. And I'm going to pour me monomer. This is the fast setting monomer. And I'm going to pour a little bit in me dish. Now I also, when I'm working with acrylic, I have a little, these are great. These are like little, like you get them from the auto department, like for cars.
Oh, for like cleaning leather seats and stuff?
Maybe. I mean, that's what they do. I don't know what they do with them for cars, but us nail technicians, we use, they're kind of pricey, but I use it because it doesn't have any lint and it doesn't give off any, but it absorbs.
Okay.
So it's excellent for acrylic. I love it. I just wish they come in prettier colors. Okay, so now I'm going to, now this is pretty short and we could literally just do it this length, put our product over top of that length. But I'm just going to go like a 1/4 inch longer. You okay with that?
Absolutely.
Well, you, because you like longer nails.
I like a little bit longer, so.
So yeah, I'm just going to make just a little bit longer. And I'm trying to decide what shape. I think we're going to have Sqround.
Okay.
I've been saying Sqround for years, but some people are like, what is a Sqround? Which makes sense. I mean, it's a square and a round combined. Because I was trying to say that there's no such thing as Sqoval.
Okay.
You can't combine square and Sqoval. You really end up with what I'm talking about, which is a Sqround. Just like you can't be tall and short at the same time.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it depends on who you're sitting with.
That's true. Okay, so I am going to pinch me form. Now, I'm not going very long, so you really probably don't have to get too carried away with pinching it, to be quite honest. But it does create a nice U shape in here to fit nicely under that. And your nail is shaped so nice. This is going to look good. One reason why you are such a great model for this is because your nails are quite slender and straight on the side. Some people's nails are only half this length.
Oh.
Right? So putting a soap nail design on a finger like this, they don't have to be very long at all, but it creates the illusion of a long nail.
Okay.
So we're not going to put much length on there to prove that point. Not much length at all. So I'm just going to slip it under. This is also a beautiful nail to form. If you're having trouble forming nails and you just watch me do that so effortlessly, that was great because he's easy to form. So that went on beautifully. There wasn't much fighting that at all. So don't think it does like that every time because some nails are quite a bit harder to form. But that was nice. Okay, so I'm just going to get you move your hand back there for 2 seconds. So soap nails are all about the color, really, besides the length. But because you can have longer soap nails too, but it's really about the color. So I've got my foundation pink, which is a little bit opaque and a little bit peachy. Then I've got my pink tint, which is a little bit translucent and a little bit pinkier. So I'm going to combine the two to give us the look that I want. And I think that is a lot of what soap nails are, is I, over the years, would take colors and mix them. And then I would also, when I'm putting the top coat on, if I'm putting a color, you can just put clear on it, or you can put a gel nail product on it, or nail polish. Back in the day, I used to mix nail polish, not mix it in a jar, but mix it in layers to get the exact color. Because that's really what soap nails are all about. Okay, so I'm just going to mix a little bit. I'll do about a 50-50 mix. So if I put 3 scoops in there, I need to do 3 scoops of this.
So when one says soap nails, is that like referencing soap from like a long time ago? Soap is all different colors.
I know. That's a good question. I don't know. Some might take that interpretation. I think it was just meant because it's clean.
Okay.
Like soap.
Should just call it like grandma's soap.
That's not as appealing as it is
I
just
guess not,
soap.
but that's the color that's always in your grandma's house.
Yep, it is. You're right. I mean, I'm not quite sure exactly how it originated. I mean, it's relatively new. I've never heard this until this past year or so, right? I've never, ever heard of this. Again, I've heard of it, but we just call it nude or natural. We didn't call it soap nails. Okay, so that's the color that I'm going to work with. And I've got my liquid. I always put my liquid and my powder extremely close together. Okay, so I am now going to create my first little bead. And I usually start right at the cuticle. Ooh, that's a pretty soap color. It's really pretty. Very natural, very nude.
Is there a big difference between like this, the glazed, and like the strawberry milk?
I have not seen or heard of the strawberry milk yet. That must be really new. Is that like really new trend?
I think I saw it yesterday.
Okay. And as far as the glazed, yeah, I think it all fits in that same category. Is the anything that's kind of nude, because you can add your chrome to this particular soap nail.
Oh, that's what makes it the glazed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, that's all it is. I mean, we've been doing the glazed nail for years too. As soon as chrome came out, we put chrome on everything. And of course, we put it on nude. And so like I say, we were doing this years ago, but we're just calling it something new right now. Okay, so we were able to do that in one nice little bead. I don't recommend that when you're learning, because it's too hard to miss things. So that's looking pretty good. So I'm going to go quite square, as you can see, on that free edge. And then we're just going to soften it up really nice and make it kind of a Sqround. So whenever you do one bead like that, for me, whenever I'm doing any nail, I always double and triple check. Make sure I've got my sidewalls, my free edge, and the apex. That's the most important bead. And I'm going to turn it sideways to see if I can see that. This is a very, very short nail, so we don't need a huge apex. So I could leave that, but I am very particular about apex because that is your structure bead. That is the bead that is going to stop the nail from being broken. It doesn't have to be huge, it just has to be there. So for people who like more of a flatter nail, you can certainly have a flatter nail. Just don't make the apex super high. And it is a short nail, so we don't have to go very high on the apex at all. Now I want to make it clear that I am removing liquid when I go down on my paper towel like that. If it looks like I'm adding liquid by going into my monomer, it's because I'm cleaning the brush, literally. I just want to make sure it's really nice and clean. Okay, that is beautiful. Take a look at that guy.
Oh, that's cute.
You like it? I know you don't like it. You like it? It is adorable. It is totally a clean girl aesthetic, which is what you don't like,
I guess.
But yeah, and that's fair.
I mean, they all look like that underneath before you put stuff on.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. And they should look like that, because if it's, like a bright yellow all the way to the nail, you've got some trouble trying to take that off.
Yeah.
So we all want to start like this. We all want them to be like that, but I love it. I don't care what they call it. Bring it back. Like, I love it. For you, it's just too boring.
I don't know if I'd say it's boring. It's just, it's not my color scheme, you know?
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah. And for me, I love it. I love the pink nudes, and look what I'm wearing. Mm-hmm. But you might like it a little bit once I get some gels on, and maybe you'll kind of like, oh, I like that one.
Let's give it a shot.
Let's give it a try.
Make me a believer.
That's what I love. You're always up for it. Even though you don't like it, you're always up for it. I have to brag about that second bead. This is the importance of that second bead, whether you like the color or not, Steve. Look at it sideways. Look at that. Look at that. That's a perfect arch. Only a little bit of filing we're going to need to straighten that. That's why you can do nails fast when you get better at it. When you lay down the product like that, done.
Yeah.
One thing I love about my fast curing monomer, it's literally cured, dried, hard, ready to go in about 1 to 2 minutes. That's the sound you're looking for. It's done. Okay, so I take the forms off I release the sides like this, then I just pinch the middle and just gently pull down, revealing a beautiful nail. Right, Steve?
Yeah.
And this is what is so great. I know it's not your favorite nail, but again, right out of the gate, we can see how gorgeous it is with his nice, straight, slender sides. I mean, already, it's a short nail, but it looks long. That's what I love about your nail beds. Okay, I'm going to take the medium. I can use the coarse nail file if I want in this, but it's just not going to take long to just file this up. So I'm going to go right on the side, just make sure I'm very happy with those nice, straight sides. I'm going to do that on both sides. And then I'm going to make sure that it's straight on the end as well. We're not going to go very long. Just peeking over the edge. Let's flip it over, Steve, and just show them how much. See, it's just peeking over the free edge. That's a nice short nail. Okay, but look how long it looks. Okay, I love it. Okay, so now I'm just going to make sure my cuticles are nice and smooth, and then I'm going to go over top of the whole thing. I have quite a few videos on the precision of filing, but the long and short of it really is you're just trying to make sure all the high points, that if it's lumpy and bumpy, all the high points meet the low points. So when you file those high points, they're meeting the low points, and then you start to shape it from there so there's no little pockets like that, right? So that's what we're doing this, and we just want to file over the top of the whole thing and make sure it's nice and smooth. Now you can see, remember when I did that like little second apex bump? The little extra bead, you can see the difference between the two beads. This is a high point, this is a low point, and you can see this in between does not line up. So I'm going to smooth that over, and I'm going to keep filing that until that becomes nice and smooth. Oh, we're starting to get there now. Now the idea of this particular kind of look is we are wanting this nail to look as natural as possible. So it really doesn't matter what product you're using. If you're using a dip or a tip, or if you're using hybrid gels, hard gels, acrylic, or the builder in a bottle, it doesn't matter. Any type of those products are a fake nail, and we just want to make it look as natural as possible. My favorite is acrylic, and that's what I'm doing here, is making it look really natural. That's why we blended that color. That's looking really pretty. I'm just going to look at this nail from all angles. So I look at it this way. I'm checking my cuticles. I look down the barrel this way.
Was filing the hardest part to learn?
Application is the hardest part to learn.
Okay.
But if you do a really crappy job at application and it really just looks like a bunch of lumps, filing is crucial to sculpting that into a beautiful nail. But the better you are at application, filing is quite easy.
Okay.
So as long as all the product is there, you can sculpt it to be a beautiful nail. But it's a lot easier if you make the application. But anybody can learn how to file.
Yeah.
But learning how to apply your liquid and powder, that's where the real art lies. That's where you got to really master it. But if you don't file it very good, if I just left this and put nail polish on, it'd be horrible. Even though it looked really good. But if I just slapped some polish on there, it would be like, oh, that's not finished.
Okay. It's like dollar store soap.
Yeah, that's right. Like you said, this is going to be high-end, a big boutique or a really nice boutique. Okay, so I am just making sure it's nice and smooth. It's looking pretty good. Yeah. That's really nice. Okay, so it is a square. I wouldn't say it's a super sharp square at this point, but I think I'm going to soften the corners a little bit and give it the Sqround because that is a little bit more natural. The square is natural too. All babies are born with natural square nails. Do you know that?
No, I didn't.
All babies, they're all square. Yeah, like sharp square.
Well, the next time I see a baby, I'm going to see if that's true.
Yes, it is. I've checked every baby that I've met. So, but I'm going to soften the corners a little because it's a little bit more natural feeling too. So I'm just going to go in and just give it a tiny bit of a Sqround. The easier way to do that is to just hit the corners. A little harder when it's shorter, but hit the corners and just file the underside a bit. That's the easiest way to get a Sqround. Okay, so now I'm going to get my fine file and I'm just smoothing out those free edges. Make sure it's nice and smooth. You just don't want it to catch on anything. So I will just run that over just quite gently. Then I'm going to take my sanding sponge and I'm just going to buff over top of the whole thing. Now this sponge isn't reshaping. This sponge is simply preparing it for gel polish. Okay. Okay, Steve. That is a finished acrylic nail before we put the gel polish on. So let's take a look at some of these nudes and see what might work for you. Now, because soap nail designs really are just all about a very classic, clean look, you can pick any nude type color you want. As long as it fits in that pink to light nude or taupe or, light even a light blue or a light gray even, as long as it fits into that realm. Okay, so this color is called, I'm not going to do a perfect polish job because I'm just trying to show you the idea behind this. This is called Mist. And it's a super light, translucent, kind of a mauvey, nudish tone.
Okay.
So it's a very milky look. So
yeah.
The strawberry thing, is that the strawberry look?
It's kind of, I get
maybe
strawberry
a pinky?
Milk, but it's, yeah.
Pinky, kind of like that, but a pinky tone.
Pink, yeah.
Okay, so that's one idea. I called this one Sweets. Now to me, this would be, I would think, sort of a traditional soap because it is very pink. Look at that.
Yeah, that looks pretty? Like something I'd find in Grandma's bathroom.
Think of Bride. Maybe not Grandma's bathroom in her soap dish, but maybe think Bride.
Okay.
What do you think?
That's cute.
For a bride, that's really pretty.
For
I love it. To me, of course I love it. I made these colors, right? But I love that. To me, that really epitomizes the soap look, in my opinion.
It's a contender.
Yeah. And then too, if you're not finding the exact one, but one works and maybe the other one works but you can't decide, you can layer them.
Oh, yeah.
You like put one layer on top of the other one. So this one is called Charmed. It's a bit of a warmer pink, and it's quite a more skin tone, I think, for someone like Steve, for his skin color. I think it really blends. It's very nude, you know, kind of has that more foundation color look.
At first I was a little, you know, it's a kind of difficult to see the different tones, I guess.
Right.
Because they all kind of look similar, but they do look very different when you have them on the nail.
Let me show you what the lids look like when you actually see the colors. Like when you get a couple coats on them, if you wanted a little more intense color. See that?
Yeah.
So this has more of a pink, and this has more of a warm, and this has more of a blue. So when you put like 2 colors or 3, but that would be a little bit stronger, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me show you, maybe this color would be better for you. This one's called Blush, and this is even warmer than the last one called Charmed I just showed you. This is a much warmer tone. See, to me, they're all very different. But I'm sure Cameraman's going, she's colorblind, they all look the same. Do you see the difference, Cameraman? That means no.
No, I could tell from one of the pinkish to more nude. Then there was the bluish one, had more of a blue-green tone to it,
Yes.
for sure. Yeah.
He can tell when it's hella zoomed in.
That's right.
I do have a monitor that shows them really close.
Yeah.
Closer than you can see them
That's
with
fair.
your eye. And the viewers see it the close that I'm seeing.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, I
They will
guess,
see
yeah.
mistakes in cat hair way before I do. That's really pretty. That's a warmer tone than the Charm that I just showed you.
Yeah.
That's quite a bit warmer. I like that too. Okay. I'm going to show you this one. This one's one of my favorites. Quite different. You might like this because I know you liked more of the blue tones. This one's called Oyster. So to me, this would be Modern Bride or Modern Soap. Or maybe Lilac Soap because a little bit of a mauvey tone to it.
That's nice. I like that one.
That's a lavender scent.
Yeah, lavender scent soap.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's beautiful. And you could even chrome that. That could make it
Oh, yeah.
like a light chrome, not like a really heavy silver, but like a unicorn chrome, they call it. Like just a little dusting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like a little fairy chrome. That's beautiful. I love that. And then there's one more that I have called Fawn. This one's really quite sweet. And I think this really does epitomize
Soap?
soap.
Yeah.
I think it does. That's really pretty. That's almost like so nude. What do you think of that, bride?
That is really nice.
You're thinking bride.
Yeah. Put
That's
a ring on
really
it,
pretty.
Grant.
That's right. That's really pretty. That one might be my favorite. So, I mean, you can even do, like I say, you could layer these colors and get quite a different look.
Yeah.
I would think it's hugely different. Cameraman might think, I don't think there's any much of a difference at all.
Oh, no, I see lots of
can
difference.
see it?
Yeah, I can tell.
Mm-hmm. This is the nail that you want, right, Steve?
That is appealing,
Catching
yes.
your eye, isn't
Yes.
it? Mm-hmm. Maybe we should do that next. That's really pretty. So that's what soap nails are.
Okay.
They're just very gentle, very sweet, very classic, very clean,
Very quick.
very quick. That's one good way of putting it. Now, sometimes nuder nails or even shorter nails can be a little bit harder to do because there's more precision and you're trying to make a perfect nail on a shorter nail that's not so perfect. Mm-hmm. So longer, sometimes you can get away with making a little bit more mistakes because it's longer. You can there's more nail to look at. So when you have a shorter nail, you're really tuned into precision.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes a shorter nail can be a little bit more demanding on the nail techs because your symmetry has to be quite a bit more accurate. If that makes any sense. So, but yes, when you get really good at it, especially acrylic, you can, and they're really, really strong. You can do these quite quickly. They could go down pretty quick and they can look really natural. Let's look at some pictures of some soap nails that I've created. thanks for joining me, Steve. Thanks for being my little guinea pig.
Anytime.
And we've got a nice protection now on those little nails that are having a little bit of a problem.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us. And I think we better do some nice fancy nails on Steve because I don't think he's ready to be a bride yet.
Not yet.
Thanks for joining us.